All right, guys, we are all packed up and ready to head up to Big Bear Lake, California. It's gonna be a weekend trip. This is a 4th of July weekend, and round trip is 180 miles. It's about 80 or 90 miles each way, and then it's a climb. We're here about, I want to say about 300 feet above sea level, somewhere around there. We're gonna climb up to about 7,000-ish, and then the lake's about 6,600. So that's where we're gonna end. We're gonna spend a few days there. I'm actually gonna put the truck on a 110 charge while we're up there, just for a few days. Won't really need it, but I'm gonna have it available to me, so why not? So yeah, we'll do that, then come on back, we'll record our efficiency. Last time I did this, I didn't record it, but I got pretty good. I got about 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour for the whole trip, which was really good, but there was a lot of traffic on the way up there. And on the hill, you're kind of going at slower speeds because it's a windy road, even though you're climbing. So the efficiency will look pretty ugly on the way up there, but then you'll regen a ton on the way down, and that number will just go way back up. So yeah, let's hit the road, see what we got. Go grab my wife and my dog, and then we'll yeah, see what happens. All right, we're about to hit the road. We got 210 miles of range. We're charged up to 89. It's supposed to be 90, but that's okay. It's 78 degrees. Should be pretty warm. We'll probably maybe get down to 60 at the lowest. Should be a pretty warm weekend, but pretty nice. So yeah, that's it. Let's get on the road and see what we get. All right, we got me, we got my dog, we got my wife who's currently hiding, and yeah, so we're pretty empty for the most part, and that's yeah, that's what we're carrying. Nothing too crazy. All right, just checking in. We are in Riverside area right now, just grabbing a bite to eat here at Baker's. So far we're doing 2.4. It was a bit higher. We had a lot of traffic at first, and then it cleared, so kicked the speed up to 70, 75-ish just to move it along. So brought that down, but that's all right. And then I forgot to mention, actually, when we go up there, we our boat is actually in the area. We got to go pick it up and take it over to the lake. I actually brought it up there a couple weeks ago. I didn't really record because I had my dad with me and another guy, and I just didn't get around to it. There was a bunch of hectic stuff going on, but the truck pulled it up there just fine. It actually would have made it from our place to the lake. It's about 80, 90 miles, like I said, and up a mountain with a 4,000 pound boat. It probably would have arrived from 100%. It would have been around 10, 15% whenever we got there. I did stop and charge just to be safe, but it ended up not totally being necessary. Although we did turn around and head back, so it was nice to have a little buffer. So I think we got there. I charged from 60 to 80% or so. I added like 20%, and then when we got up there, we had about I want to say 30-40%, something like that. We made it pretty easily, but we got 1.5 miles per kilowatt hour from our place to the bottom of the mountain, and then from the bottom of the mountain to the top, we got somewhere around, I think it was about 0.9. In the steep sections, we were getting about 0.5, really sucking the juice down. But once it kind of leveled out, it kind of brought that up a bit. And then on the way back, the round trip, it ended up being around 2 miles per kilowatt hour, which is actually pretty good. I was surprised how good that was, considering we were towing on the way up there. And then on the way back, I forgot to mention, we were empty. So yeah, that's what we got with that. So yeah, we're gonna head up the mountain. We're about maybe 15 minutes from the base right now, just grabbing a bite to eat, and then we'll start climbing, and should be up there in an hour or two. We'll see what we got, but yeah, that's what we got so far. All right, we made it to the base of the mountain. So far we were doing a 2.3 miles per kilowatt hour from our place to the base of the mountain, which is a slight climb. I think it's from about 300 feet elevation, and then the base of the mountain's around 2,000 or 1,500, maybe something like that. So we're doing 2.3, just dropped to 2.2 as we started climbing up into the foothills. So I reset trip 2, so that'll give us a good indication of what we do going up the mountain. That's probably gonna drop precipitously once we really start climbing. And we got another 35-ish miles to go. So we'll see what that comes up with. And then it's about 9 o'clock. It's still about 80 degrees, even though it's pretty late, but that's how it is out here. And yeah, it's pretty much all going the route with only about 2% climb, but despite the AC being on the whole time. So yeah, not too bad. So yeah, we'll check in again once we get to the top of the mountain. All right, we made it up to our place up in the mountains. This is Big Bear Lake, California. Here's our tally for the first leg of the trip. So we got 87 miles of range left, 1.8 miles per kilowatt hour, 81.4 miles total. so far. So remember, this is just the first leg. We're gonna go on the way back too, do a little driving around town, all that kind of stuff. So that hour count is not totally accurate. We did stop at Target for a bit, and I sat in the car with it running while my wife ran in and did that. And then we also got some food on the way through a drive-through, so that's not our average speed or anything. But all right, let's see. It's 64 degrees. It is, let's see, 6,768 feet is our current elevation. So yeah, I did pretty good. Let's see, this is our total trip. And then for the just up the mountain, we got 1.4 miles per kilowatt hour. So that's pretty good, actually. The initial part is pretty steep climb, or relatively steep, and we were doing 0.8, 0.9 for that part. And then after about 20 miles, it sort of levels out to the point where you're kind of sitting around 7,000 feet, just going up and down, and then a little bit down towards the end. So yeah, that climbed up a bit just from that kind of 40 to 50 mile per hour up and down, relatively level road. So on the way back, I expect this to go quite a bit higher. We're going to do well over 2, probably 2.5 is my guess, maybe 2.7. That's what we did. That's what I did last time, but I thought that was a fluke, frankly. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, we're gonna get unpacked, go to bed, wake up in the morning, do some boating, some hiking, just enjoy the outdoors. And then yeah, we're either gonna come home either tomorrow night or the following day. See what we got, and if any responsibilities from back home, give us a call. So see what happens. All right, I'll see you later. All right, we got her plugged into the 110. It's about 45% right now, and I have it set to charge to 70. Only about 70. That way, when we go down the mountain, either tomorrow or Sunday, it's got some room in the battery to absorb some energy and do a bunch of regenning. So yeah, it's 45% right now, and it says it's going to be at 70 tomorrow at 11 p.m. So yeah, about 24 hours to add, I don't know, 30%, whatever it is. So seems about right. But all right, we're gonna get this thing unpacked and go to bed, and tomorrow we can enjoy the outdoors. All right, see you later. Hey guys, it's about a day later. It's just before 8, and we're gonna head home. It's 81 miles. We charged on the 110 for probably 18 hours, something like that. We unhooked and drove around a bit, went and picked up the boat, dropped it in the water. That's why my range is so low right now, but you can see I've got 54%, so 62, that's not accurate, especially because we're about to go down a mountain, so that should shoot up pretty quickly. So 1.8 miles per kilowatt hour, that's where we're at, and I expect that to go up quite a bit. So yeah, that's what we got. Hopefully the trailer thing pulls itself out, or the range corrects itself pretty quickly. I imagine it will once it realizes we're empty and heading downhill. So yeah, that's what we got. We're gonna hit the road and we'll see what we come up with. All right, guys, we made it to the bottom of the mountain so far, and we're getting some really good efficiency numbers. We got 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour for the whole thing so far. We still have to drive back to our place. And then from the bottom of the mountain to the top and then back to the bottom, we're doing 3.2, which is really good. But obviously we got pretty low speeds on the mountain, 30 to 50 miles an hour, and then obviously regenning all the way down. So really good stuff. We'll see what we get when we get all the way back, and we'll do a little wrap up. All right. All right, made it back, no problem. Here's our final stats. We got 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour, so it held that. It actually went up to 2.8 for a while. It was kind of bouncing around, 2.8, 2.7. And then there's a last little hill I have to go up to get to my place. And going up that hill, it dropped down to 2.7. But that's all right. That's still pretty damn good, I'd say. And then we have 2.9 on this. Like I said, this one's I started this one at the bottom of the mountain. So we went up the mountain, back down, and then back home. So this one's not super relevant. Just the mountain part was 3.2 or 3.1, which is really great. Obviously, that's much lower speeds. Like I said, 30 to 40, some 50 mile an hour stuff. It's a windy mountain road, so it is what it is. And then obviously you're regenning. Like, I didn't touch the brakes the entire way down, going from 6,500 to 1,500 or whatever it was. So that's just tons of regen. So that was great. So yeah, when we at the top of the mountain on our way down, we started at 54. It dropped down to 48 or so because you do a little bit of climbing, and then on the way down, it climbed up to 57, I think it was, and we made it with 39. So we went about 85, 90 miles, whatever it was, on what was that? 20%, a little under 18%, it looks like. So yeah, that's pretty good. Obviously, it's you go down a mountain, and then the last part too was even it was like 45 miles of freeway, but it was like at a slight downhill, so that obviously helps you. But yeah, 2.7, that's really, really great. Excellent. That's what I got the last time, and I thought it was a fluke. But no, it turns out that it is what it is. The F150 Lightning just likes to do mountain stuff. I don't think I had mentioned it before, but if you haven't seen any of my videos before, this is a 2023 F150 Lightning Pro standard range. The only modifications I have that would affect this in any way is I do have a hard tonneau cover. So that helps the aero maybe a hair, and then I added some steps to the side like the ones you get on like the XLT. So that actually would hurt the aero a little bit. So, but yeah, this is what I got. Really great stuff. I just wanted to mention when I left, my range was really low because I pulled the trailer up in Big Bear, and apparently to deactivate that you have to go into the settings. Looks like you press features, towing, and then there's something right here. It says select active trailer. So you select that, and it was set to default trailer. It did that out automatically when I hooked up the trailer. So you just select no active trailer, then my range went right back up. It had recalculated, and everything was fine. So yeah, really successful trip. Truck was super efficient. I mean, for a big truck, my wife's Tesla Model 3 would do probably 4.5 to 5 miles per kilowatt hour, but it's half the size, rear wheel drive, really aerodynamic, and it ain't a big truck like this is. So I'm really happy. This is excellent. Really good efficiency. I find it's just that lower speed stuff just really helps it around town, where the aero just doesn't kill it as badly. You do pretty good. And then once you go over like 70, 75, 80, you really just kill your efficiency. So keeping the speeds down really helps. If you're having a problem with that and it's not really cold outside or extremely hot, it's probably your speed, frankly. And yeah, I had the AC on basically the whole time. It was a little bit warm. It's 66 right now, but it was going through Riverside County and all that. It was 75, 80 the whole way back, even right now at 9 o'clock. So yeah, had the AC on, really didn't make much difference. We'll look at our trip energy. So yeah, even with the AC running the whole time, 4%, that's virtually nothing. This exterior temperature, like I've driven the cold and the hot, it's always there. I've never seen it not there. Trip 2, even more efficient, so these things affect it even more, I find. So, but yeah, really good stuff. Really happy with the trip. We're gonna get this stuff unloaded, and I'm gonna make some and eat because I didn't have dinner, and then hit the hay because I am exhausted. But yeah, thanks for coming along and watching this with us. If you got any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.